everyone, Cadaver Kelly here. The third video I ever uploaded to this channel was a video on options for goths who can't go to events. Whether it's because you don't have a local scene or maybe personal circumstances prevent you from going out, I gave a few suggestions for how to connect online, so I will link that video in the description. So what about those of us who do potentially have a local scene we can go to but don't know where those events are? In this video, I'm going to give a few tips for finding local events. So my first suggestion is probably the easiest way to find events in your area, and that is to search for a local goth group. Let's say I am in the greater New York City area, or maybe I'm traveling to visit New York and I want to see what events are out there. I would search for New York Goth and look under groups. So right here at the top, there's the New York Post-Punk Goth and Event page. So they actually have an events tab here, and it looks like they have a number of different events listed, a few coming up. Maybe I want to find the Chicago goth scene. I would do the same thing, Chicago goth. So here's a Chicago Goths group. It's a closed group, but I'm sure if I joined this group, there would probably be events listed in here. So that's the first way that you can find local events, is by looking for a local goth Facebook group. Now, a way that might be a little more time consuming if you're in a larger city, but if you are in a small town or city, it might be better to just Google what nightclubs or bars are in your area. So I am in Pittsburgh. I know one of the bars, small music venues around here is called Spirit. So here's their Facebook page. And I'm going to go to the events tab on this venue's Facebook page to see if there are any events that might be goth friendly. So there's a lot of different music and club events in here. So I would probably look through to see if any of them have any events that are suited to my music taste. And I can see right here they have a Pink Turns Blue concert coming up. So that's something that would be a goth-friendly event. So the next tip for finding goth events, and this will only apply to goths in the United States, but if you are in the United States, which according to YouTube, 80% of my viewers are, there's this website, New Goth City. It's a really great resource for finding not just goth events, but also darkly inclined local attractions. So since I'm in Pittsburgh, I'm going to see what they have listed for Pennsylvania. As you can see, these are a lot of different attractions in Pennsylvania. A lot of stuff for Philadelphia. I'm not surprised. That is the largest city in Pennsylvania. And here is Pittsburgh. So these are actually not events. These are just venues. But they are pretty neat local attractions that would be suited to a darkly inclined crowd. The next option is what I think is a really cool project. It's a Google map called Where's Your Goth At? And this has listings for goth venues and events all over the world. If you scroll in, the further and further you scroll, you can find more events in a particular area. So I know Tampa has a pretty good goth scene. I'm scrolling into Tampa, Florida right now, and there are a couple listings. So this one's a venue, the Castle. I know that's a pretty popular goth and dark alternative venue in Tampa. Obscura Undead. Shout out to Obscura Undead. If you don't subscribe to their YouTube channel, I will link it in the description. They actually do a weekly goth and dark obscure music news program. Death Rock Radio. Interesting. So this map is a really nice resource. They have listings all over the world. And I think you can actually submit entries if you know of an event that isn't on this map. So I will link this map in the description. Really great resource. So your last option, of course, would be to Google the goth scene in your area. So since I'm in Pittsburgh, I'm going to search for Pittsburgh Goth. And first listing right here is a website, PGH Goth. So right here it has listed club nights, the power of Google. And of course you could always search on Reddit as well. So that's it for my tips on how to find your local goth scene. Those are just a few options. I'm sure there's other ways to find local events as well. So if any of my subscribers have other tips for finding goth events, please leave them in the comments. So if you're looking for more options, if these didn't lead to any events for you, check the comments to see if anyone else has other tips that may be helpful. So that's it for this video. This was a short one. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.